Hello everyone, welcome to the Mommies Talk. Today we are going to have a guest not from India, and she is going to talk on a topic which is very important for all my NRI mom friends. So the topic is inculcating Indian culture into NRI kids. So let me see if my guest is here. Okay, so my here.
All right, finally.
Yeah, hi Aarti.
Hi, Nidhi. Sorry about that. I actually
It's
changed my
not
location.
your fault. I think it's the India network fault. So it
Yeah, I'm
happens with
changing
me every
all
time.
right so that I could be close to the router as well, just to be, extra sure.
Achha, so you came here. Okay,
How are
so
things?
how are you? And please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi guys. So I'm Aarti and I'm based out of Singapore. I'm let's say a small-time mommy blogger based in Singapore. I try to share let's say tidbits of information, small hacks and tips to make parenting life easier. I know parenting life is not easy; it's full of challenges, but I
Yeah,
just do
yeah,
a
that your blogging name, Mum's Not the Word. Can you please
yeah.
explain that? How did it come to your mind?
Actually, mom's not the word has nothing to do with moms.
Okay.
And oh, hi, Karishma, I see. Yeah. So it's got nothing to do with mom. So mom's the word is actually a Shakespearean, phrase that actually says, do not be silent. So
Okay, okay.
I was looking for something that's interesting, and mom's not the word has mums in it, although it's nothing to do with mums, and also means do not be silent. So it's all about, speaking
Okay.
out and yeah, expressing yourself and all of that. So yeah, so that's what I that's why I thought it was a perfect name, because I had a lot of things to share, let's say my 2 cents, and I thought mom's not the word made a lot of sense for someone like me.
Okay. So please tell us about your motherhood journey.
So my son Siddhartha is 14 months old right now, and my motherhood journey has been sort of, let's say, as of ups and downs, very interesting as well. And he was born in Singapore. The pandemic was declared a pandemic. Really interesting journey ever since he was born. Being here in a country outside outside of India without any support from family, because my family lives in India. So
Where are
managing
you
all that
from?
alone.
In
Sorry,
India? Where are you from in India?
I'm from Chennai. Actually, I'm from the south.
Okay, okay. Okay, so yeah, please continue.
Yeah, so basically managing all of that without parents, because grandparents, having them around when the baby is born is
It's
so
very
important.
important.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and we kind of like, although they came for the birth of Siddhartha, they left
Okay.
immediately. So basically, they saw him while he was, after he was born, but that was
Okay.
just the initial few weeks, and after that they left. So basically, after that was just
No
me, my
help.
husband.
You didn't have,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, and but we have the good thing about Singapore is we you get full-time help, so that's been a big blessing in disguise. It's really helped us a lot. If we didn't have that, then it would have been a struggle. So
Being first
but
time mom, you don't know many things. So how did you get to know about the things with the baby?
So I think what really helped me so much was being prepared. So I
Okay.
tend to read a lot. I do a lot of research. I ask a lot of questions to the
Okay.
doctors, to all kinds of. I try to connect with as many people as possible, whether it's the doctors or people in the space who can sort of help me with the information I require. And also, I also have friends who are parents. Most of my friends are all parents, and in fact they had kids much before I did, and I think it was really helpful to have information and advice from all of them as well, because the things that they worked for them, that didn't work for them. So I was able to use all this as learnings for to understand. I
Yeah.
think that's been very helpful. The whole parent community, they really sort of help you with all the information you need. And yeah, my friends have been a big source of support, because they would always
Okay.
share information they have with about their child, and
So
what
you mean friends from Singapore
friends from
or from
Singapore
other?
and other countries as well. So
Oh,
they were all parents, and then in my family, like my sister-in-law, my brother, so they all had kids much before we did, which actually really helped us so much because we could ask them all the information that we wanted. And apart from that, yes, I do a lot of research. I mean, I'm someone who's very particular about getting the right kind of information. I think evidence-based information on parenting is the most important because there are so many
Yeah.
myths and misconceptions, like you
Yeah.
can, practices that have no scientific, basis that people just follow blindly. So I was against all of that. So I tend to do a lot of research and on
Okay.
my own. That has also helped me a
So
lot.
you tried all the researches and followed like which is correct, which is like myth. So you did everything.
Yes, yes, I did whatever was possible from my end. Yeah, I'm not an expert at all. I just learn from everyone, and I learn from whatever is around me. But I just try to. I also
And this
use
is
my
what
gut.
you're sharing with in your blogging thing. So
Yeah,
you want to
exactly.
help new moms too.
I want to help new moms too because I know how hard it is for everyone. You have so many questions. I don't think our questions ever end, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we always have questions. I mean, no matter how
Even if
old
your
your child.
kid is doing everything perfectly, we have certain things. No, he's not doing this. He's not doing this. What should we do?
Yeah.
So this is true with every mom, I guess.
Yes, exactly. So you always have questions and you're always Googling. So that will never end.
That's true. So, okay, so coming to our point, topic is inculcating Indian culture in NRI kids. So,
Yes.
what do you want to say about the topic? Is it really important? Do you feel that inculcating an Indian culture in NRI kids is important?
Of course. So when you contacted me and you spoke to me about this particular topic, I think I really was excited by it because it's something that's very close to my heart.
Okay,
And
okay.
when I told my husband that I'm actually having a chat with you regarding this, he said, "Oh, I think she's picked the perfect person because he knows how strongly I feel about inculcating Indian culture and NRI kids."
So
And
you believe in this thing, right?
absolutely, absolutely,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So I think for me also it's why it's something that I really believe in is because I am an NRI kid. I grew up in the UAE, and
Oh, okay.
so I don't know if you've noticed, but most parents, when their kids grow up abroad, they do they go out of their way to instill sort of get them exposed to Indian culture. They go out of
Yeah,
their way more than even the kids in India. So
yeah.
my parents did the same, and
Okay,
and I think that's helped me a lot, like in the sense, I
okay.
think this whole thing about being connecting with your roots and having a lot of pride for where you come from. And India is so diverse, I mean, in terms of the culture, the heritage, our customs, the practices, so much that we can do. And learning about all this, learning about our roots, all the things that the ancestors passed on to.
There's a comment you need to read this. It's a very good thing. You not only help new moms but also women who are thinking of becoming moms in future. You simplify parenting, make it seem less daunting, and I thank you for it. So there's someone who's thanking you.
Oh, thank you, that's so nice to hear. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I love to hear stuff like this because I think ultimately, I get so much of joy if someone has been able to benefit from some information I've.
Even if you're reflecting any one person, so you feel like okay, finally I'm doing a good thing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, yeah. So let us talk about the queries. I got some queries. So there's one query. Have you ever heard of these taunts by your people in India? Like, why are you raising your kid like in as an NRI? And when you come to India, they won't be able to know about the Indian culture and or anything like that.
I haven't
Have you
heard
came
this yet
across something like
because
this?
we haven't really traveled to India because of the pandemic. We have, I would have loved to, but then, yeah, we've been here. So because of that, I haven't heard anything from anyone yet.
Okay,
So who
but
knows?
there's one person who asked this. I had my first kid in outside India, but people are forcing my in-laws are forcing me to have the second child in India so that they go they get connected to Indian roots. So what do you want to say about this?
So I think the where the child is born has nothing to do whether they will end up being connected to Indian roots or not. It all depends on how the parents bring them up and what kind of values they instill in them when they're growing up. I think it's all about that. So I think you should tell your family the very thing that I told you, that you, because you believe so much in the Indian value system and all of that. No matter where your child is going to be born, you will instill the
Okay.
right values and help them connect with the Indian culture. So I don't think that's so that argument that the family is making is doesn't is
Doesn't make sense, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. So, what is the preferred language you use at home with Sid?
I speak to him in Tamil. That's my mother tongue,
Oh,
and
wow. Okay.
I, so it's a multilingual household. So I speak to Sid in Tamil. I have a
Okay.
helper, his nanny, and my house help. She speaks to him in Hindi,
Okay.
and
Oh my God. Acha.
husband speaks to him in English. So what I have learned from other parents as well, as in the ones who have been able to successfully teach the child their language, is it helps to, for one parent to speak to their child in that one language. So
Okay.
that way
Okay.
the sort of so because I mean actually, let me say, I'm going to be very honest. I'm not proficient in Tamil at all. It's my mother
Okay.
tongue, but I wish I were better in it, but I'm not. But I try
Okay.
my best to speak to him in Tamil as much as I can. So my
Okay.
everyday conversation with him is in Tamil, and he seems to
Okay.
understand instructions as well. Because now, if I tell him, Anganda de Eduthinuva, that means go take this from there. He actually understands it.
Okay. Oh my
Obviously,
God. Okay. So, has
yeah.
he started speaking something?
No, he doesn't speak yet. No,
Okay.
not yet.
Okay.
He
Okay. So we will be
being
excited to know this from your blog. What is his first word? Is it in Hindi, English, or Tamil? Right.
yes, yes. I'm really keen on knowing that. Although right, the first thing that he said was Dada, which is for dad. That's what he
Okay.
said.
Yeah. Okay.
Dada and Mama. You don't. I mean, there's no language really, so you don't
Yeah.
really know.
Yeah. They say that.
Yeah, but I'm also very curious to know what language he's going to pick up first, or what are the words that he's going to pick up first.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's see, because he understands Hindi as well, because my his nanny speaks to him in Hindi, and he understands what she's telling him, like, in terms of
Okay.
instructions. So I'm happy that he's actually being exposed to
Multiple
three
languages.
languages. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you don't feel like no, only English should be spoken in your house because he has to go through only English in future, staying in Singapore and all.
Oh, not at all, not at all, because
You believe in
the
every languages.
yes, as many language. And in Singapore, he is going to be exposed to Mandarin as well when he goes to school. And I would be very happy if he learns Mandarin too. So I'm sort of and I think being multilingual really helps a child in terms of developing their brain and, all of that. So there are a lot of scientific reports to prove that. So I
Yeah.
strongly stand by that. And of course, I think learning your mother tongue is absolutely important. I mean, I strongly believe in that. To the extent that, he has to call me Amma. Like, Amma is mom in
Yeah.
Tamil.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with him calling me mummy or mom or anything. So I'm so about that.
Okay, okay. This is what we call Indian values. Okay, so what do you do to inculcate Indian culture in Sid?
So one thing that we have been doing consistently ever since he was born is celebrating all the
All the
festivals.
festivals, yeah, that we see in your blogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think what's wonderful about Singapore is, the fact that it is a very multicultural sort of, country. I mean, there are all kinds of, your neighbors. You have people from different parts of India or different parts of the world, and also all the Indian, festivals are also celebrated here. So we really get a chance to,
Yeah, there
do
was
things.
one query that do you go to a community like Indian culture community for celebrating festivals to inculcate these in culture?
I don't, but I would love to. I think when after COVID, when things do
After
open up,
after pandemic, yeah.
yes, so there is something called Bal Vikas. I don't know if you've heard of this. Bal Vikas is a very popular. It's like sort of a cultural center. It's all over the world. So
Okay.
Bal Vikas centers are all over the world. So what they do is they actually, they have like a class for children. It usually happens once a week where they inculcate, moral values,
Okay.
mythological stories, everything in a very fun way for children. And I
Okay.
attended this when child. So, and they still have that. I know there is a center in Singapore as well. I would be very attending those classes because I think it starts from age 3. So when he does grow older, I would love for him to attend these classes.
This is one of your future plans to do this, right? Inculcate
Correct.
an Indian culture thing. Okay. So, what about traditional fooding and clothing? What do you do? Do you do something like to introduce it to them, to your kid?
Uh, yes, traditional food and clothing. Like with all the festivals, I ensured that he had his clothes picked out. Like I used to pick clothes for him. In fact, my parents would send it from India, or his grandparents had sent it from India. I would tell them that these are because they understand these are I need clothes for this festival, and they had
Okay.
actually and sent me all of this for the entire year from India. So I was able to, take nice pictures with him, during those festivals. We also make special food, for these festivals and all of that. So I think, although as a baby, it's not like he ate so much or anything, but it's just that the very fact that, I hope he sees this as he grows older. I will show him pictures, and I would love to keep celebrating this as he grows older. There's so much of joy in celebrating Indian festivals, and we have so many. And I really used to look forward to them, and I hope he does too. The
Okay.
whole
So
food
you try to
aspect,
celebrate all these festivals with your kid,
yeah, everything, yeah,
and in terms
and
of like
also the
clothing
whole
also and fooding also. So,
yes,
do you
everything.
believe
But
in
if you
this thing
see
like?
my
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please continue.
sorry, no, if you see my post, like I think I have so many of his pictures in Indian clothes. I
Indian clothes.
ensured that for every festival he wore something for that
Yeah.
was meant for that
Traditional
particular
wear.
event. So I was,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I've seen that. That is why I picked you for this topic, actually. Okay, so do you believe that going to India for letting your kid know about these Indian culture and tradition, going to like having a visit to India, other parts of India, so that your kid knows about this Indian culture and tradition matters?
Yeah, absolutely. I think travel is probably the most fun and enjoyable way to expose your child to the diversity of Indian culture. That has helped me a lot. I mean, because when I was growing up as well, I think every
Yeah, yeah,
holiday.
yeah. I was going to ask this. Did this happen with you too? Your parents
Yes,
also
it
did
did.
it. Okay.
So my parents ensured that they took us to different parts of India, and we in terms of the kind of exposure that we've had to different food or states in India, and like the different customs and the this one. I mean, it's amazing. So I'm so grateful for that, and I want Siddhartha to get the same exposure to all of that, because I mean, travel is probably the best teacher for all
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah, okay. So I think the queries are over, but what do you want to say? What are your future plans? Are there more future plans to inculcate these Indian culture and tradition in your kid? Is it
Yes,
like,
definitely.
are you planning something like Balvikas is one thing you said? So
Yes,
more.
correct. Apart from that, I think books and there are so many. So that's great. I mean,
Yeah, like
there are
for
so
example, I have seen these holy books, with these Krishna pictures, and also you're planning to do these things, right?
absolutely that one, and also I think music is another very important part of it. Again,
Okay, yeah,
I would definitely love him to maybe learn a musical instrument or a form of Indian music. Again,
classical.
that really sort of helps. When he does watch cartoons, I would love for him to watch cartoons in our language or in Hindi
Okay.
or whatever, because I think again watching cartoons or movies in that language also teaches, helps you understand, like maybe cultural nuances or the language very well. So I think that, and then being a part of a cultural like a sort of a taking part in plays, things
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
all that as well. So all this is stuff that I did as a child, and I would like him to do those things, because I think it's so nice, like when and because we're from India and there's so much of diversity. I think I think I would love for him to know and learn all these things.
Everything. Yeah. Okay. So there was one query. It came just before the live. Will you be ashamed of or proud of making your kid into some Indian patriotic person in a fancy dress competition held in Singapore? Not now, but lately.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I would be very happy to actually make him dress as Gandhi or something like that. But no, I would not be ashamed of it.
Okay, so there was this query which came just before the live. Okay, so there's nothing more to ask. I am so proud that I brought you here. I brought you here because you have taken your skills to develop your Indian kid into this Indian tradition and culture. I'm so happy that parents in NRI, they are helping their kids know their Indian culture and develop this patriotism in them. So this is very kind of you, and this is very nationalism of you, in fact. So thank you so much for being here. And do you want to say anything else to our audience?
Just one. Yeah, I think that one of the questions that I got is like sort of a trigger thing. It's about like, it does not really matter which part of the world that you live in. You could be living in Alaska probably, but you can still instill the right kind of values and expose your child to all the cultural beliefs and tradition that you want, no matter which part of the world you're in. It all depends on how much you want to do, honestly. So if you have the willingness,
so what do you want to suggest to those parents who are not interested in inculcating Indian culture to their kids?
I mean, to each his own. Some parents are not so big on such things. Honestly, if you ask me, there is a difference in opinion between me and my husband itself. I mean, this is very interesting. He is not so gung-ho on the whole Indian culture thing as much as I am. For me, it is so important. For him, I would say he's more of a global citizen. He's like, no, I don't care too much about all this. Whether he learns or not, I don't care. So, I mean, I can't fight with him regarding that. But of course, I always put my foot down saying that, no, this is something that's important to me, so I'll do it. He might not teach not that much about it, but I will. So I think if there are parents who don't believe in it, I mean, it's their wish, but I would say that it's nice for the child to learn about it, because honestly, that's where they belong, right? I mean, it's so important for them to have the connection to their roots, especially, the world is getting like crazy. People are forgetting where they're coming from, especially, everyone is living in different parts of the world. Like, Indians are living in different parts of the world. These are those strong cultural identities are the ones that kind of binds you to your roots. And I think it's so important for children to understand that and appreciate that. So I think parents, it's great. I mean, it'll be nice if you can do it, but I mean, of course, if they're not interested, then I mean,
but we should suggest it to inculcate this Indian culture to them, to NRI kids, right?
Yeah,
because it's important. It's somewhere important, and it's not going to help just developing roots. It's going to help know the diversity too, right?
Yeah. No, because I see this happening with other communities. Like if you see, Southeast Asians in the US or Chinese, they're so proud of their roots and, everything about, the strong thing about like, my Chinese ancestors and, they speak that language and all of that. So why, I see a lot of Indians shying away from that. I don't know why though. There is this embarrassment, they don't want to be associated. Maybe there is this whole thing about, maybe it comes with like a lot of, because there are racist, issues, and there are, there are discrimination, there's discrimination that's happening and all of that. Maybe because of that they're embarrassed to show that Indianness when they live abroad. I don't know what it is, but yes, I think it's very important to be proud of your roots and understand where you're coming from. I think that's what makes us who we are.
Yeah. So good. Okay. So thank you so much for your thoughts. You were amazing. Thank you for giving time and leaving your small kid and giving time for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much, Nidhi. I'm so happy that you sort of decided to have this chat with me regarding.
And I think you were the perfect one for this topic. You defined it so properly, So thank you so much for giving time.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Have a great.
Take care.
Bye. Thank you so much.